Food exceptionalism. Food exceptionalism can be described as a social political climate in which national food security and farmers' economic interests prevail, and farmers receive special political treatment in the form of favorable policies and subsidies. In the 1900s, there was an outpour of sanitation concerns over the country. Many Americans were getting sick from various foods they consumed over time. It became the government's job to find the cause. Upton Sinclair was a much read writer and political activist that brought awareness to the unsanitary conditions of the meatpacking industry. He wrote a novel entitled The Jungle, which explained the harsh reality of this industry. Many companies solely focused on getting the meat out as fast as they could. They simply didn't take sanitation into consideration during the process. He wrote many novels that exposed poor business practices in various industries. He is known for his saying, "It is difficult to get a man to understand something when his salary depends upon him not understanding it." After the novel The Jungle, Theodore Roosevelt made it his mission to improve the sanitation and overall process of meat inspection. So he passed the Meat Inspection Act on June 30th, 1906, which put regulations on meat packaging and slaughtering practices. This law also made it illegal to adulterate or mislabel meat and meat products. All products had to be produced in sanitary conditions or the company would be fined. Roosevelt also passed the Pure Food and Drug Act, which made it illegal to manufacture, sell, or transport misbranded or poisonous food, drugs, medicines, and liquors. Once this law became outdated, the 1938 Food, Drug, Cosmetic Act came into play. This law established quality standards for food, drugs, medical devices, and cosmetics manufactured and sold in the United States. This law also prohibited false or misleading labeling. It required the labeling of imitation foods. It also required affirmative labeling, which is the name of the food, the net quantity of contents, ingredient statement, the name and address of the manufacturer, packer, or distributor. And it also required different requirements for dietary foods. It prohibited misleading containers and it authorized plant inspections. The FDA, on the other hand, was founded to protect consumers from adulterated and misbranded food and drugs. Each organization has its own set of rules and regulations, but they generally work hand in hand to protect producers and also consumers. Food labeling has always been a controversial issue within the food service industry. What makes a food label accurate? A food label should describe the quantity of each item that is in the food. It should be in order by the most concentrated item. It also describes carbohydrate content, total fat, cholesterol, sodium, and many other key nutrients. Food labels also warn customers of potential food allergies that could be contained in that item. If an item contains nuts, for instance, a nut allergy customer would simply look past this item in order to prevent possible food allergic reactions. All that being said, how can we improve healthy food access? I think we can start making farmers markets more available, and in the food insecure communities, many government officials should start going into these communities and seeing exactly what is going on and how they can help improve the communities by making gardens and actual grocery stores that can be closer to these communities in order to influence healthy eating in the children and also the parents. Because without these opportunities, they won't be able to feed their families in the healthy manner that they can. Help and influence from the government officials. Also, transportation is hard for some underprivileged families. They simply don't have the means to buy a car or a truck. So their access to healthy foods and grocery stores is limited because many times bus stops aren't available for the families or the bus just simply doesn't come. So we have to try to encourage our government officials to step in more than they are right now. Will also take the burden off of families and parents that simply just don't know how they will feed their children. And food industry improvements that we could look at are encouraging more green environments, decreasing fast food restaurants, allowing consumers to get involved with changing the way communities are viewed as well, regulate food service companies more strictly on sanitation because we always see these big corporations only worry about money more say than human life and valuing life in general. And we could also practice adequate food safety procedures and be the change we want to see in the community. Overall, food exceptionalism is still relevant to today's society. As the food industry advances, we still have a lot of work to do to bring about effective change.